Creativity can be an important part of our spiritual journey, one of the ways that we draw closer to God. Welcome to my studio. It's a mess, but if you know me, you wouldn't be surprised. The Israelites in Exodus are in a mess. They're wandering for 40 years in the middle of a desolate desert wilderness. And during that time, God instructs them to build this beautiful, glorious tabernacle tent complex and this fantastic but very heavy furniture and these glorious priestly garments. It doesn't exactly seem like what they need most of all, because it's going to take time and resources to make these things, time and resources that could be used better elsewhere. They're going to have to lug them around with them. And most of them don't have practical survival value. They really don't seem that useful. It's art for art's sake or art for God's sake. And yet maybe it's exactly what they do need. Because in the middle of their desert wanderings, the Israelites need to be reminded that God, the great God, the creator God, the one who created things beautiful in the first place, is still with them. And maybe in the middle of our COVID wanderings, as we go through this desert time, we need to be reminded as well that God, the great God, the glorious God, the creator God, the one who created the world in all of its beauty, is with us as well. There is still joy and hope and peace and love and beauty in the world. Thanks be to God. Second, when you're down and out, there's therapy in doing something, making something, accomplishing something. Sometimes spending time creating things is exactly what we need to do too, because art can nourish our souls. It's during these hard times that writing things, drawing something, knitting something, cooking something, making a snow angel might be exactly what our souls need. Art doesn't need to have particularly profound meaning or be particularly fantastically well done. It's simply art for art's sake, or more appropriately, art for God's sake. Madeleine L'Engle, author of A Wrinkle in Time and many other books, writes this: the discipline of creation, be it to paint, compose, write, or we could add a number of other things, is an effort towards wholeness. In other words, through creative acts like writing, sewing, baking, gardening, carpentry, music, painting, we can actually improve our mental, physical, and spiritual health and well-being. It can be part of our therapy. Art can express our worship. We can see this in music and poetry, from great hymns like "To God Be the Glory" to contemporary songs like "Creation Calls," or poems we write, or art we create, or things we do that can express our worship to God. When you sing in the shower, you can praise God. Art can also express our struggles. The writers of songs like "It Is Well With My Soul" or "Blessed Be Your Name" express and process through their personal pain and distress. When my facial pain first developed, sometimes it was pretty crippling. And one of the things I discovered was what I called Lego therapy. We had young boys at the time, and I discovered that building with Lego was incredibly therapeutic, because on the one hand, it took just enough brain power that you kind of forgot about the pain in the side of your face. But it didn't take too much brain power that you felt super tired. And at the end of the day, you actually accomplished something. You had some bizarre Lego creation to celebrate the time that you'd spent together. Writing a poem, making a jigsaw puzzle, baking cookies, shoveling the driveway. All of these things take enough thought to distract us from our struggles and help us find some perspective in life. So I encourage you, when you're struggling, to find some things to keep your mind occupied, to feel good about the time that you're spending, rather than simply focusing on our difficulties all the time. And art can express our faith, our truth. We can share our understanding of God and who He is. It doesn't have to be explicitly evangelistic or religious. For instance, when I paint a painting of Mount Rundle in Banff, I'm not just painting a picture of a random mountain. I'm painting part of God's creation. And I'm aware that as I'm painting it, that it's a spiritual act of worship for me to celebrate the beauty of the world that God created. I've also found that much of the art I'm drawn to and the art that I create has a road or a path in it, a sense of journey, a sense that I'm here at the front of the painting now, but I'm on a journey. And hopefully over the hill, around the corner, I will draw closer and closer to God. And so there's a sense of hopefulness, a sense of purpose, that through this art, I'm drawing closer to God. I'm growing deeper in my knowledge and experience of Him. So create something. It may help you reflect on and worship God in new ways, and it may just help you draw closer to God, to worship Him more, and to find a deeper purpose in your struggles.